going on? Happy Thursday. This is your workout for today. So today, guys, we're going to start off with a warm-up, very simple stuff. We're going to start off with 20 high knees. With those high knees, guys, let's try to focus, not necessarily, I like the number of 20 just because it makes us focus on the amount of reps we do. Try not to run with this. I know it's very easy to do that, especially in the gym with the grid, just kind of run forward. But let's focus on really driving the knees nice and high as we do this. So the way that should look is we should start out, we should maybe put our hands up in front of us, give a little bit of guidance and whatnot. If you're comfortable with this movement though, let's think shorter with the amount of reps we do, but really focusing on driving the knees as high as we can. So as we do these guys, we're gonna drum up, drive the knees as high as we can, coming forward, or of course, if you want, you guys can just stay in place for those there. After you're done with those, you're then gonna go into 20 butt kickers. Very similar to that. The high knees are gonna obviously work the front part of that hip flexor. The butt kickers, we're working the hip flexor. We're also getting the quad stretched out a little bit as well. So with that, guys, we're just gonna focus. Again, do these in place. You can walk forward with it. Either way is completely up to you based on the space you have. So with those little guys, we're gonna run in place. All we have to do there, you can put your hands in your butt if you want to. It doesn't really mean anything, but with this though, we're just trying to focus on kicking our butt. So as you do this, you can jump up. Again, just kicking up as high as we can each and every time, okay? So that's gonna be for our butt kickers. After that, we're gonna go into 10 kickbacks. Our kickbacks, guys, just a different way to get those glutes firing a little bit. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come down to the floor, hands and knees. You're then going to, with one leg, you're going to lift that leg as far as you can up, squeeze your butt, and then come back down. Okay, so we're gonna do 10 reps on our right, and then 10 reps on your left. Try to focus on keeping that core nice and tight. The only thing that should be moving when we're doing that is that leg, okay? Lastly, guys, we have 5-inch worms. You guys don't need to do any push-up with that. You're just gonna do 5-inch worms. So again, with these, our feet are underneath the hips, walking our hands all the way out into that plank position. And once we get there, we're just going to walk our feet all the way up to those hands and repeat for another 4 reps. Okay, so that's gonna be warm up for today, guys. 3 total rounds of that, just kind of cruise through, and then we'll get into our workout. Okay, guys, so for our workout today, here's what we have going on. You guys have a longer workout. It's gonna be a 25-minute AMRAP. So you're gonna work through this for 25 total minutes, doing as many rounds and reps as possible. So the way this is gonna work is we're gonna start off with 6 push-ups. With our push-ups, guys, you can play around with different positions with the push-up. I'm cool with that. Add a little variety in. I think it's a great way just to kind of keep things fresh. So if you want to do some narrow grip push-ups, if you want to do some diamond push-ups, some wide grip push-ups, that's completely fine. Guys, so with the push-up though, guys, let's just make sure that as we do these, our hips and chest are hitting the ground at the same time, and our hips and chest are leaving the ground at the same time. If we find ourselves getting into this position where we kind of cobra up like that, it doesn't really make sense to do that, so let's just go to the knees, or of course, guys, we can add something underneath to shorten up that range of motion a little bit, okay? If you want to play around with some different positions with that, guys, I'm all for it. Like I was saying, one thing that I always like to do is diamond push-ups. Helps a lot with tricep, just activation, feeling a little bit more in there. Those diamond push-ups, guys, of course, literally try to get a diamond, set up with our hands. From here, guys, we're just going to do a normal push-up. As we do these, try to think about keeping those elbows nice and neutral, driving at a 45-degree angle back, and then pushing up from there. Okay, so the things we're trying to avoid with that is driving the elbows out, right? The same thing with the normal push-up, guys. We definitely don't want to flare the elbows out to the side. We want to maintain a nice neutral position with those elbows. One thing I always like to do to kind of help me with that is literally try to grab the floor with my hands. What that's going to do, guys, is you're going to notice my elbow pit here will start to face out as I do that. So it's allowing me to basically rotate that shoulder, externally rotate that shoulder, just get into a good position, a nice solid position, and also it'll allow me to get into a proper position as I come down and have everything nice and active because I'm trying to spread the floor with my hands. Okay, so again, that's gonna be for the push-ups today. After that, we have 8 lunges. That's gonna be on each leg. Reverse lunges, so with this, guys, you can alternate, you can do 8 on one leg. Again, I'm gonna let you guys have the option of that. You will feel this more if you do all one leg. But again, we can rotate through and just do 16 total as well. But with the reverse lunge, guys, big focus here is that as we drop that back leg back, that we drop straight down, the chest remains nice and upright, that knee is directly below the hip, and of course that knee is tracking over the foot. From here, guys, as we push up, let's think about pushing up, not forward. A lot of times what we see with lunges in general, hands go on knees, kind of push ourselves into this position here, and then we kind of good morning ourselves up, and really don't use our legs a whole lot. What we do is we push our hips back, and then we use our back to push ourselves into that upright position. So that's why we want to focus on keeping that chest nice and tall, squeezing that butt, and driving up with that leg. Okay, so that's going to be for the lunges, guys. If you have a pad or if you have like knee trouble, try not to focus on pushing that knee into the ground. If we have some knee trouble, let's just push that foot back or that knee far enough to where we just hover and then press up, okay? Or again, if we have an ab mat or a pad handy, I always like to personally do lunges on things like the mats just to make it a little bit easier on the knees, okay? So again, that's up to you though. After that, we have 10 burpees, guys. With our burpees, as always, the biggest focus on those is to make sure that as we jump out of the burpee to where we actually jump, we're landing in our heels, okay? Anytime we have people jumping out of burpees, typically the fault is that we get into our toes, okay? So when we get our toes, it puts a lot of pressure on our knees, makes it a little more difficult to get into a position where we can jump. Of course, we want the weight centered in our feet as we explosively jump up, okay? Because we all explosively jump up on burpees. So, that being said, we're gonna fall to the floor. From here, hips and chest hit the ground. This, guys, you wanna think about pushing the chest up, and then as we do so, we're gonna think about bringing our feet outside of our hands or just next to those hands. That'll make it much easier to jump up and overhead and get into that position to jump, okay? So again, that's gonna be for the burpees. Simple stuff there, guys. But one thing I do wanna note is, like I said, when we're going down into the burpee, as we come up out of the burpee, try to think about pushing the chest up first, and that's gonna give us a little bit of an ability to use our core to drive our feet up, okay? Instead of doing a strict push-up out of the burpee. After those though, guys, we have 12 air squats, pretty simple stuff there. High rep air squats, with that, guys, the biggest thing we always see is range of motion issues, right? So let's just be sure that as we do these squats, that we're squatting all the way down, keeping that chest tall and driving through those heels, okay? So when we're here, we're grabbing the floor with our feet, chest remains nice and tall. As we squat, we're gonna push the hips slightly back just to unlock those hips, and then we're gonna squat down, coming back up, and standing all the way, squeezing the butt. Okay, so again, that's gonna be for 25 minutes, guys. Long workout, but what I want you to do with this is I want you to focus on trying to move all the way through this workout. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is try not to let your heart rate get too high and then have to take 30 seconds before you do an air squat, right? Try to just kind of mosey through the entire thing and not stop. That's my challenge for you with this workout. Have fun, get after it, good luck. So last thing we have for you today, we got a little finisher, a little core work for you. That being said, the way this is gonna work today is we have 3 sets, okay? 3 sets, starting off with 20 flutter kicks. With our flutter kicks, guys, we're gonna lay down on the ground. From right here, we're gonna get into a hollow position, so we're just got our lower back on the floor, our feet up, and then all we're gonna do, if you can keep your hands here, rad, then you're just gonna flutter your feet 20 times. Try to think about keeping everything nice and tight with that core, all the way through those reps, guys. As we get done with that, you're then gonna immediately go into a 1-minute plank hold. Now, if you have something around the house you can use as weight, you can use a backpack for this, go ahead and do so, right? If you have a backpack, it's the easiest way because it's the most comfortable. If you wanna put like a plate on your back, if you have one of those, I wouldn't really recommend anything with a dumbbell, it might be just a little uncomfortable. So if you don't have anything and you find that the 1-minute plank isn't enough, go ahead and do a little bit longer, right? You can do 1.5 minutes if you'd like. If you're a stud, you can do 2 minutes, more power to you. But again, we're looking for a 1-minute plank. If you have some weight and you can do that and you can perform a weighted plank hold, let's go ahead and do so, okay? But with that said, guys, it's gonna be an elbow plank, pretty simple stuff. You guys are gonna lay down on the ground, so face down, on our elbows. From here, guys, we're just gonna get our feet back extended. We're gonna squeeze our butt, keep those ribs down. I always like to kind of think about tucking in as I do this, and then again, just try to create a nice flat back, and hang out here for, like I said, 1 minute, okay? If you find that 1 minute is too much, don't accumulate it. Go as long as you can and then come down, okay? Now, when I say go as long as you can, that doesn't mean we have our butt up like this, because that's absolutely useless. And the same thing goes for this, right? We don't want to be sitting here in this position. So again, let's just make sure that as we perform that minute, if we can't get all the way through it, just do a max effort set. Okay. After that, we have 20 Russian twists. With our Russian twist, you guys will have a dumbbell, any sort of weight in hand. It's completely up to you, but you're gonna do 20 total reps of those Russian twists. So with those, if you have a dumbbell handy, you can just hold it out like this. And then all we're gonna do, guys, is we're just gonna rotate side to side. So you're gonna get into this position, hollow position, feet are off the ground, and we're just gonna rotate side to side for 20 total reps. Okay, it'll be 3 sets of that. We're looking for about a minute or 2 of rest between each set. Rest is needed though. We just want to make sure we don't go over that 2-minute mark, right? This is just one of those things where it's very easy when we're doing multiple sets of some accessory work after we get done to kind of just get careless and take up too much rest between sets and not really get the result of what we're trying to do. Okay, so again, let's make sure 1 to 2 minute rest on that core work. Get after it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have fun.